Welcome to Behind the Veiled Truth. Let me pull you into the fascinating world of social proof, a psychological force so powerful it can sway crowds, shape decisions, and even tip the scales in high-stakes situations, sometimes with chilling consequences. Picture this, you're at a bustling street market, unsure which food stall to trust. You notice one with a long line snaking around the corner while others sit empty. Without thinking, you join the crowd. Why? That's social proof at work, a mental shortcut that whispers if everyone else is doing it, it must be right. Let's dive into what makes this phenomenon tick, how it shapes behavior, and why it can be both a benign guide and a dangerous manipulator. What is social proof? Social proof is our brain's tendency to look to others for cues on how to act, especially when we're uncertain, overwhelmed, or in unfamiliar territory. It's rooted in our evolutionary past. Early humans survived by sticking with the tribe. If everyone was running from a predator, you didn't stop to analyze, you ran too. Today, this instinct manifests in subtler ways, but it's no less potent. As a behavioral psychologist, I see social proof as a cognitive heuristic, a mental rule of thumb that saves us from decision paralysis. But as a psychologist, I also see its darker side. It can lead people to follow the wrong crowd, sometimes straight into disaster. The mechanics of social proof. Why does social proof work? It's a mix of psychology and context. Uncertainty. When we don't know what to do, we lean on others' actions as a guide. Think of a new restaurant with no reviews. You're more likely to try it if you see a crowd inside. Similarity, we're influenced most by people like us. If you're a college student, you'll trust a peer's recommendation over a stranger's numbers. The more people doing something, the stronger the pull. A single person clapping at a concert might be ignored, but a roaring crowd, you're joining in. Authority, social proof from experts or influencers hits harder. A celebrity endorsement or a five-star expert review can feel like gospel. From a forensic perspective, these mechanics explain why social proof can escalate group behavior. Think mob mentality or cult dynamics. When uncertainty spikes, say during a crisis, people cling to the crowd's actions even if they're irrational or harmful. Everyday examples of social proof. Let's bring this to life with vivid examples. Testimonials. Imagine you're shopping online for a new gadget. You're torn between two brands, but one has 10,000 glowing reviews with heartfelt stories from users like you. Suddenly, it's a no-brainer. Companies know this, which is why they flood websites with testimonials. As a behavioral psychologist, I'd say this taps into our need for validation. As a forensic psychologist, I'd warn that fake reviews can manipulate us into scams. Think Ponzi schemes dressed up with fabricated success stories. Two, crowd behavior. Picture a street performer drawing a small circle of onlookers. A few more join and soon a massive crowd forms, even if the act isn't that great. This is the bandwagon effect. People assume the crowd knows something they don't. Forensically, this mirrors how riots or looting can spiral. One person breaks a window, others follow, each assuming the group's actions are justified. I've studied cases where individuals in mobs later said, I don't know why I did it, I just followed the crowd. Three, online reviews. You're booking a hotel and see one with a 48-star rating from 2,000 guests versus another with a 35 from 50. Which do you pick? The 48, of course. Online platforms like Yelp or Amazon thrive on social proof, amplifying its power through sheer scale. But here's the forensic angle. Review manipulation is a growing crime. Businesses buy fake five-star ratings while competitors plant negative ones. In extreme cases, doctored reviews have lured victims into fraudulent schemes, from shady investments to unsafe travel deals. The science behind it, behavioral research, backs this up. In the 1950s, Solomon Asch's conformity experiments showed how people would give wrong answers to simple questions like comparing line lengths if others in the group did so first. Social proof overrode their own eyes. More recent studies like those by Cialdini show social proof is strongest in ambiguous settings. For example, in one experiment, hotel guests were more likely to reuse towels if a sign said most guests in this room reuse their towels versus a generic eco message. Why? The specific reference to guests like you made the behavior feel normative. From a forensic lens, social proof explains why people join extremist groups or cults. Charismatic leaders use testimonials, e.g., devoted followers' stories, and group rituals to create an illusion of consensus. Once someone sees everyone believing, doubting feels riskier than conforming. I've analyzed cases where individuals committed crimes under cult influence, later admitting they acted against their own morals because everyone else was doing it. The dark side, manipulation, and danger. Social proof isn't always benign. As a forensic psychologist, I've seen how it's weaponized. Scams and fraud, pyramid schemes rely on social proof. Early success stories often stage lure others in. Think of Bernie Madoff's Ponzi scheme, where elite investors' participation signaled legitimacy, propaganda. Dictators and extremists use staged crowds or fabricated consensus to sway public opinion. Social media amplifies this. Bots and fake accounts can create the illusion of mass support, peer pressure, and crime. In group crimes like gang initiations, social proof normalizes violence. A recruit might hesitate to harm someone, but seeing peers act without remorse signals, this is okay. Even in everyday life, social proof can backfire. Ever heard of the bystander effect? In emergencies, people are less likely to help if others stand idle, each assuming the crowd's inaction means no action is needed. Tragic cases like the 1964 murder of Kitty Genovese highlight this, where witnesses failed to intervene, partly due to social proof. The bright side, harnessing social proof for good. Social proof isn't inherently bad, it's a tool. As a behavioral psychologist, I'd argue it can drive positive change. Public health campaigns like anti-smoking ads work better when they show most people are quitting rather than scolding smokers. Charity, donation drives skyrocket when people see others giving. Platforms like GoFundMe thrive on visible supporter lists. Sustainability, energy companies nudge customers to save power by showing how their usage compares to neighbors. Governments and nonprofits use social proof to encourage voting, recycling, or vaccination. The key, make the desired behavior feel like the norm, not the exception. Social proof in the digital age today, social media supercharges social proof. A viral TikTok video with millions of likes screams, "This is worth your attention." Influencers with massive followings shape trends from fashion to politics. But here's the forensic twist. Digital social proof is easy to fake. Bots can inflate likes and algorithms can amplify divisive content, creating false consensus. I've consulted on cases where manipulated social proof fueled misinformation campaigns, swaying elections, or inciting unrest. On the flip side, platforms like Reddit show social proof's organic power. Upvotes signal community approval, guiding users to trust certain posts. But even here, groupthink can emerge, silencing dissent, a phenomenon I've seen in both online forums and real-world juries. How to navigate social proof. As a psychologist, I'd urge you to wield social proof wisely and guard against its traps. Pause and reflect. If you're following the crowd, ask why. Is it because they're right or because it feels safe? Check sources, online reviews or testimonials. Dig deeper. Fake social proof is rampant. Embrace critical thinking. In forensic work, I've seen how blind conformity leads to regret. Trust your judgment, even if it's unpopular, use it ethically. If you're persuading others, e.g. in marketing or leadership, highlight genuine consensus, not fabricated hype. Why social proof matters. Social proof is a double-edged sword. It's why we trust, conform, and sometimes err. As a behavioral psychologist, I find it a window into our social nature. Our need to belong drives us to follow the herd. As a forensic psychologist, I see its risks. It can normalize crime, fuel deception, or silence dissent. Whether it's a glowing Amazon review, a cheering crowd, or a viral X post, social proof shapes our world in ways we barely notice until it's too late. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to the channel and like the video. It's free, and we really appreciate it. Until the next time,